Paul Skenes, ladies and gentlemen. You may know him because he dates Olivia Dunn. As a matter of fact, a lot of people were kind of having their way with Paul Skenes when at the White Party on the 4th of July, there was a big LSU grouping, and Joe Burrow was with Olivia Dunn, and people were like, how in the hell is Paul Skenes going to be able to keep her, right? This big 6'6", 255, 60-pound flamethrower. Again, just incredible today. And I am someone who appreciates the tough streets of Twitter, okay? It's not for everyone. If you don't bring it 24/7, you're going to get knocked down. You may even get knocked out. But Twitter's undefeated, okay? No one is ever going to take anything away from Twitter. And I love conversations with you about the way things change in sports, right? We do it all the time. Everything has changed right in front of our eyes. Sports talk radio has changed right in front of our eyes. It's the old school. It's the new school. It's about coddling today's athlete, right? It's about pampering today's athlete. You can't raise your voice anymore as a coach or a manager because today's athlete will pack up and just leave. He'll transfer to someone else. So come home and say, Mommy, the coach yelled at me. Daddy, the teacher yelled at me. Oh, let's get him out of there. You know what it's like. You got kids. They spend 2 weeks working somewhere. The general manager's out. Quit. That's the way of today. But old school still holds principles in certain aspects of the sports that we love. I think it's dead in football. I am. I really do. Give me one old school football principle that's still there. One. Just give me one. And don't tell me 3.4 yards in a cloud of dust. Those days are gone. Okay? Everything is to protect the offensive players. Hell, we're getting ready to add gimmicks. We already moved back the PAT line, which they never should have done. Just leave the freaking PAT where it was for 80 years. No, they had to move that back. Next, they're going to give you a 4th and 15 after you score instead of an onside kick. I mean, the NFL, so far ahead of everything else, they're not old school. They're getting ready to add gimmicks. Okay? The NBA, the NHL. The NHL lifted the red line. Need more offense. Let's make it Olympic style. Let's make it college style. Let's take those 180 feet barns. Let's make them 200 feet. Let's get more offense. Let's get more skating. Right? I'm surprised there's not a 4-point shot right now in the NBA. Again, guys, you have a 3-on-1. We're going to get some nifty passing here and a nice layup, finger roll off glass. Hell no. Guy's going to stop, pull up, drain a 30-footer. Baseball still, though, there are those who say, take the freaking pitch chart and throw it away. I don't care how many pitches he threw. Case in point today, Paul Skenes, 7 innings, 0 hits, a walk. Struck out 11, threw 99 pitches, got the hook. It's the right move. It's today's Major League Baseball. And this didn't happen in 2024. This has been going on for probably 10 or so years. There has been observation over analysis, over Tommy John surgery, and everything else, and it sounds like this. Don't have your young pitcher throwing too much. Remember Steven Strasburg, what was it, 10, 12, 14, 15 years ago? I don't remember. They shut him down where the Nationals that particular year had a run towards the pennant, and they said, well, you know what? We may win it this year. We also may not win it this year, but we want Strasburg to be around for the next 10-plus years. Did it work? Yes, because they won a world championship, right? And that's, no matter which way you want to look at it, the ultimate goal was reached. Strasburg won a World Series. His career did not have the longevity. It did not have the success that hopefully Paul Skenes will end up having. But it's just, I love it because we want to identify everything nowadays, who you represent, what's your team, which way this, which way that. And it feels like different generations, and I'm guilty of this. I love to kind of mix it up, maybe even troll, if you will. I mean, I do it with, honestly, a little bit of love in the heart. Because I'll be the first one to tell you that old school's dead. You know that. Tom Coughlin, when he made that bid about, Jalen should be here and grit, there were people that are salty out there that said, yeah, that a boy. You go, Tom. Well, look what happened. The NFLPA stepped up. They said no free agents should consider Duval. It ended up costing him his job. The great Tom Coughlin that so many of us just love and appreciate spoke volumes after volumes after volumes about getting everyone to do it the right way. Yet it was he who tried to cheat, right? By forcing people in to work their rehabilitation and treatment after they were injured. That's why you have a CBA. And that included the voluntary workouts. We don't need to go through that. We've all talked about it before. But there is that underlying factor that still continues for a lot of people in Major League Baseball. They'll tell you back when I watched Steve Carlton, back when I watched Tom Seaver and Jim Palmer and Vida Blue, okay, and Bob Gibson and Mickey Lolich, and the last 30-game winner in Major League Baseball, Denny McClain. And when you gave me Louis Tiant or Jim Catfish Hunter, okay, there was no such thing as a pitch count. They went out and they pitched and they pitched and they pitched and they pitched. It's changed. That's today's baseball. Paul Skenes, this is a remarkable story. He now goes to 6-0. They haven't updated the WAR or his WHIP, but today he went 7 innings, only allowed a hit. Only allowed a walk. So he came in to today's outing only behind Chris Sale, who picked up his 12th victory. In my opinion, Chris Sale should be the Cy Young Award winner based on what we've seen here through mid-July. And obviously there's a ton of baseball left. And the big issue for Chris Sale is, once again, there's another guy that you can always talk about. He's dealt with injuries throughout his career. Can he continuously stay healthy for Atlanta? But he's now at a 0.94. Zach Wheeler at a 0.99 as far as their whip. Skenes came in today with a 1.01. So that's obviously dropping after going 7 innings and only walking one batter. His WAR will go up. It's currently right now tied for 7th in Major League Baseball at 2.6. Your leader is it's actually another Brave in Lopez at 3.4. Your highest WAR. And again, if you're old school and you're new school, if you're old school and you're talking about a pitch count, you're now saying, well, what the hell's Ballou talking about as far as a whip? And what is Ballou talking about as far as a WAR? When I grew up, we looked at wins. We looked at losses. We looked at earned run average. We looked at strikeouts per 9. But the new math that we are seeing. So this is the second time in 11 starts that Skenes has gone 6+, not allowing a hit. My point on all of this is, if you're missing out, shame on you. There's not a lot of guys right now in Major League Baseball. The best part of working overnights in Chicago were those late night West Coast games. I was on 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. here out there in Chicago. 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. West Coast was 7 p. To 11 p. But a big part of my show was instant reaction, after a game. If this had been a night matchup and Paul Skenes had just knocked off Milwaukee 1-0, I would have a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates on to talk about that outing. It'd be a 3 to 4 minute interview, and then bam. Next thing, we're talking about the Scottish Open or previewing next week's British Open. But there was an era then where there was literally 8 to 10 to 12 guys who would come to plate every night that you never missed an at-bat. When Barry Bonds was coming to the plate, I don't care if it was during a commercial break and you had to take a leak, you were going to sit through it. You weren't going to miss a Barry Bonds at-bat. And I can think of a lot of guys, McGuire, Sosa, Darryl Strawberry, in his career, Ken Griffey Jr., just great sluggers. Nowadays, I just don't feel like there's a a list of guys that you're like, maybe you'll Aaron Judge, maybe you'll Ohtani, maybe you'll give me a couple of these young sluggers in Baltimore. I don't know. It does feel a little bit different, but I'll also tell you this. It is absolutely different when you talk about front line starting pitchers. From Gooden and Clemens and Pedro and Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz. And the list just goes on and on. And in the town I worked, Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor, right? Kurt Schilling. I mean, they just seemed like they were big hosses every night grabbing the baseball. And you wanted to see that. Not a lot of them out there right now. JJ and I were texting the other night during sales outing. But I want to put Paul Skenes right now, this early in his career, as really can't miss baseball theater. And if you're a baseball fan that's kind of let the game slip by you the last couple of years, watch this guy throw. He is a lot of fun. He just rears back and fires. And, Pittsburgh's a young up-and-coming team. He's 6-0 now. It really makes you wonder, though, what he could do on a great team. Put him on Atlanta. Put him on Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Put him on New York. Put him on Baltimore. Put him on Cleveland. Philadelphia, I think, became the first team last night to win 60 games so far this year in Major League Baseball. Put him on the Phillies, and that would end up being a lot of fun to watch. Before I move on, I know you're a baseball guy. Did you catch Skenes outing at all today?
I didn't, but I did see the highlights. It's crazy that he's like introducing new pitches so he's got like a backdoor slider that he really didn't use at all this season, and he just brought it out today. And of course it was dominant. So it's fun, man, just seeing this kid who we expected him to be good, right when he got there. But this is next level stuff. I did not see this coming. I really didn't watch him in college, so I heard all the talk about him, but I did not see this coming. And what's cool is potentially his next start could be Tuesday night, the All-Star game. So this kid who only has 11 career starts could be starting the All-Star game because, like you said, Chris Sale, he started the other night. He's going to start on Sunday, so he won't have enough time to be ready for the game. So we might be in for a special treat at the All-Star game. I'm ready for that.
His whip did drop to 0.92. That is the latest numbers that are now in. So that now leads the National League as far as his whip.
Which is walks and hits per inning. So basically just
under one.
Anything you give up, yeah.
He's also a great pitcher.
He's not just a thrower.
No. I mean, I've heard some comparisons, Nolan Ryan. I'm like, listen, but I'll do respect to Nolan Ryan, who's the great, 6 no-hitters, 5,700, whatever strikeouts. Nolan Ryan, there was no secret. He was going to rear back and fire. And if you could hit him, fine. Paul Skenes, as you just said, he developed, or I don't know if he just developed a new pitch. He just showed a new pitch. And yes, it is premature to compare Paul Skenes, who's 6-0, to Nolan Ryan, but I've heard some people use that as the example, and I'm like, no.
Big right-hander,
I mean, they look the same.
It sort of ends.
But Nolan was a fire. I mean, Nolan just reared back and fired the baseball. Paul Skenes has several pitches.
What's also good for Major League Baseball is that he has a celebrity chick.
Oh, yeah.
So, this could be a Verlander. Verlander turned into, a household name 10 years or so ago out of nowhere just because, he was a dominant pitcher when he Cy Youngs and everything. But, more importantly, he was dating oh, my God, I don't even remember her name.
Oh, she was the swimsuit model.
Yes, whatever. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But Livy Dunn is, a big Kate Upton.
There you go.
Very talented Kate Upton.
And by the way, Verlander and Scherzer and who am I thinking
DeGrom?
Kershaw. Those are the guys I'm talking about. Those are the guys that when they're pitching, I'm going to watch them. And I noticed that, the
They're
other
all
night.
hurt this year.
Yeah, Scherzer, I think only made it into the 6th inning the other night, didn't get a decision. Verlander's been hurt. Kershaw had a setback 2 weeks ago. I guess he's going to throw a simulated game again.
We haven't seen DeGrom all year.
Right, even a minor league start, I think, this Saturday. But there just doesn't, as far as name recognition, big-time starters, Not as many right now in Major League Baseball as there once was.
Yeah,
All right.
not everyone. I love the guy, but no one's flocking to their TV to see every Reynaldo Lopez start.
It's just not happening.
Who's leading the league in the ERA right now?
The latest out of Athens is very disturbing. It is. 2 more arrests now. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, that is 19 driving arrests since January 15th, 2003. Now, every case is different.
23.
What did I say, 2003? Yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. The latest is Smile Mondon, very, very talented linebacker, former 5-star. Bo Hughley, who I don't know much about. I guess he's a young offensive lineman. But, again, for Mondon, it's racing and reckless driving. It's a 1-car accident, reckless driving for Hughley. This comes a day or two after it is announced that the DUI charges have been dropped on Trevor Etienne. Regardless of how you look at this story, okay, and I do think for college football fans, for the most part, it's really hard to be objective about this because the school's colors come out. And I get it. But here's the bottom line. Whatever Kirby Smart is doing, it's not working. Okay? There's been absolutely no change in what is going on with his student athletes. And, they lost a teammate back on the 15th day of January, 2023. They lost a staffer, very highly documented, just awful story. And ever since then, it's one after another, after another, after another. And, it's real simple to sit here and say, well, there should be a zero tolerance policy in order. And my understanding is that Kirby's tried to address this. He's talked to his team about it. He's brought in people to talk to his team about it. They're not listening. So if you believe a suspension or a dismissal is the only thing that's going to change that, that's fine. Okay? That is your opinion. I think we're smart enough to understand that's never going to happen. Okay? The message has been sent by Georgia. Rings, championships. That's more important than culture. That's more important than their players. Okay? Because if not, something totally significant already would have taken place. It's as simple as that. Love them, dislike them, okay? The most important thing to Kirby Smart is to win championships. And he's going to win championships at any cost. And you know what? I'm raising my hand right now. I don't have a problem with it. I've never had a problem with this. The years that Florida State had kids who got in trouble, go back and check it. Those were their best years. Those were the years that they won championships. I don't need 90 or 85 guys on my football team who, again, walk old ladies across the street. If they want to be bad human beings, fine. As long as they win games. As long as they win championships. What really hurts here for Georgia is you would have hoped someone got popped for, breaking and entering. Someone would have gotten popped for transporting drugs. Someone would have gotten popped for whatever. They just can't have another driving incident in Athens. This is 19 of them now. I know you're going to bring it to me, and I look forward to it. At 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. But it's simple. Georgia, Florida State, Florida, Miami. Would you rather have a bunch of happy-go-lucky guys and you go 4-8? Or would you rather have guys who are future murderers, guys who do everything that's wrong like Nick Saban did at Florida, but they win and they win and they win and they win? Guys at Florida State who have the audacity to take a free pair of sneakers? like Derek Brooks, but they win and they win and they win and they win. Slush funds and money under the table before the NIL, like they did at Miami with Luther Campbell and Shapiro and everyone else. They win, they win, they win, they win. Are you going to teach me right from wrong? Are you going to tell me you can have the combination of them both? You can't. Georgia has become a renegade program. Okay? They're filthy. The message for Kirby Smart doesn't work. Deaths in his family. It doesn't work. This is a kid who's been around there for years. He went out speeding, reckless driving, changing lanes. He does not care. When they bring people in to tell him not to do this, he does not listen. So accept it, Georgia fans. This is where you are. You're a renegade college football program. The most important thing to you is wins. It's not about how your players are perceived. You're not going to discipline these players, right? What are you going to take them off the training table? Say no meat? Smiley Mondon, no meat, just fruit and vegetables for a week? Is that going to be his punishment? You think he's going to sit out against Clemson on opening day? You think Kirby Smart's going to sit this guy out against Clemson on opening day? I don't have a problem with it. Just accept it. What you can't have is it both ways. You can't tell us you got a great bunch of human beings break the law time and again and time and again and time and again and time and again and time and again when we know the most important thing at Georgia is to win championships. Opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by Skenes Vision. And make sure you get your eyes checked. The days keep going by and I just keep wondering how many of you folks out there, I know their phone is rung off the hook. I know they've been busy since I started doing this campaign for them, but it's still not enough, okay? Stop pushing back on your eyes. Your eyes are very important, regardless of what it may be. Simple procedure to go in for a checkup, the very latest as far as your prescription, absolutely. But what about things that are far more significant, real problems that could occur? It's going to be dark here in an hour and some change. How do your eyes deal with the nighttime and the fatigue? Maybe you're seeing spots in your eyes. Maybe you think there's a cataract issue. It's on and on and on. You're talking about more than 30 years worth of experience in laser eye surgery with Dr. Catherine Skenes and Dr. Neil Skenes, who did perform surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago. There's never been a problem. There's never been a setback. Go to Skenes Vision. Care you can see. Also check out all their testimonials on Instagram at Skenes Vision. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, I got to check. Now that Johns Hines Allen, his name has been changed, did Greg Huntington ever consider going to just the Mangler, right? But there's a the. It's not like Bono or Sting. I guess The Edge. Yeah, The Edge went with The Edge, right? We'll find that out. One of the 10 original Jacksonville Jaguars. And there's a little bit of hype coming out of Happy Valley right now with Penn State. So let's talk to Greg Huntington about the Jaguars, a little bit of college football as well. We roll into the night right here on a Thursday.
Hey, this is Derek Trucks on my hometown station 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Bolt City Heating and Air is here to keep you cool this summer. Anytime, any day, whenever you need fast, reliable air conditioning service. Their friendly technicians have fully stocked work vans, so they can get your AC done on-site the same day. Rely on a family-owned, Jacksonville-grown company this summer to keep your home cooling system working smarter, not harder. Experience the Bold difference. Visit BoldCityAC.com to schedule your service appointment. BoldCityAC.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com. FirstCoastYMCA.com.
Find your why and your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
We could call them helmets and cleats, but they don't wear cleats.
Those shoes are hot.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
You think you could join us?
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
1010XL Weekly is out now. Mia here, and text the word weekly to subscribe to our new 1010XL newsletter and for a chance to win Jaguars and concert tickets. Get an inside look at local sports, trending players, station info, and chances to win prizes all year long.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Save money while beautifying your home with Renewal by Andersen with their energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Their exclusive Fibrex product is chic, tough, easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Right now, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free, plus 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gates store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. Men, are you struggling in the bedroom? Do spiders and roaches have you scared? Visit RoyalPestServices.com and let us help you get that man card back. Guaranteed results on our first visit.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Oh, there it is. Mangler music. Right here in your home of the Jags. Yeah, Greg Huntington, our guest, one of the 10 original Jags. Did you ever consider just calling yourself the Mangler?
I pretty much do. I know it's odd to call you, to refer to yourself in the third person.
But you can when you have a name like the Mangler.
I do. When I was playing here, my actual locker plate was Mangler 66, and I had Bobby Monica, our equipment manager, to thank
Love
for that.
Bobby Monica.
Yeah, great guy.
I've had many women of all shapes and sizes scream, truth teller, truth teller, truth teller. But I'd never really myself in the third person refer to myself.
Shapes and sizes, I guess that's for another topic of discussion.
Well, we can get into that right now if you'd like.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm doing great, Rick. I mean, honestly.
You look good. You've lost a lot of weight.
I have. I was 267 today, but I wake up every morning and I have to pinch myself because I live in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I have a beautiful wife, 3 beautiful daughters. I work for a great company, Waste Management, a.k.a. WM, and I'm on air with the truth teller and one of the world's greatest radio engineers, JJ.
JJ LaSelva.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
at 6:30 each and every night. The program is brought to you by the good folks over at Thermal Engineers, and they're hiring right now. Commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for more than 20 years. If you're a qualified technician or installer, okay, how does top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus sound? For all the details, go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or give them a call at 230-1172. An equal opportunity employer. 230-1172, Thermal Engineers, Inc. Again, phenomenal deals. And if you're a qualified technician and an installer, go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. Been a really fast off season. I thought this was going to be one of the most interesting off seasons that the franchise had ever had when it came to making so many different decisions. It kind of went on easier than I expected, and it feels like every decision this organization has made has been a very good one for Jaguar fans.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you because truth be told, when they lost 5 of the last 6 games and then go up to Nashville with an opportunity to win that game, to go in the playoffs and to lose, I was losing interest in watching. It was very disappointing for me. But to see the things, and I know we'll get into some of those, be it Trevor's contract, be it the stadium deal getting done, it's been an exciting offseason. So I'm getting fired up about the beginning of the season, which is right around the corner with training camp.
I think most people, when they think of that loss, they think of the miscommunication there late between Trevor and Calvin Ridley. But I think, like you do, it was the offensive line. It was 3rd and 1. It was 4th and 1. They had a chance to just run the football and move the sticks. And it really hurt this football team this past year, particularly in the second half of the season. Greg, all the hype, again, is going to be on Trevor Lawrence and with a new defensive coordinator coming in. But for me, this team has to be able to run the football.
Yeah, you nailed it. And I was ahead of this before the media got a hold of it, simply because I was an offensive lineman. So I could tell you on day one, on game one, when they went on the road to play the Indianapolis Colts, I'm like, something's not right with the line. Running backs getting hit at the line of scrimmage, running backs getting hit in the backfield. You got to be able to get movement at the point of attack on those D linemen to get up to the second level to get to the linebackers. They did not do that. And when you're in passing formation and it's 4th and goal, that is embarrassing as an offensive line. So the media eventually picked up on it and highlighted the offensive line as an area that was really deficient.
As I say all the time, okay, you have all the skill position stars. To me, the identity, and listen, you guys had Mark Burnell. You had a great quarterback. You need a great quarterback. But the identity of a football team, to me, is in the ditch. It's the offensive line. When I got here and you guys were playing, that's where I went. Every time I went into the locker room with yourself and Baselli and Wydell and Leon Searcy and Brian DeMarco and Rich Tilsky and Ben Coleman. I mean, that was a nasty, it was a savvy, and it was a very good offensive line. Again, that's the biggest concern I have about this football team. Where is the offense?
No, you're right. That offensive line in the first few years, the team was the best offensive line they've had here by far. But, I mean, look, the offensive line makes up nearly half of your offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important, obviously, to establish the run through good offensive line play and to give protection. I mean, you look at Trevor Lawrence last year, and he had a difficult year. You know, he had injuries. But, you know, and he's bouncing back from that, but you can't be getting sacked 50 or 60 times. I know when I was drafted by the Washington Redskins, and that was the name when I was drafted, 2 years previous to that, they played in the 91 Super Bowl. And that offensive line through 16-game season and the playoffs in the Super Bowl, I think they gave up less than 20 sacks.
The Hogs.
The Hogs. You got to do that. I mean, there's only a few people that, in my opinion, didn't need or doesn't need a good offensive line. That was Barry Sanders.
Okay.
Barry Sanders is a phenomenal running back. He can make a bad line look good because he could make some major moves. Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry, but your offensive line can suck, and that guy's going to find a way to evade getting tackled. But that's not normal. You got to give Trevor time. He's got everything that he needs. He's a big kid, strong arm. He's intelligent, and he can run if need be. But you got to give him time. We got the assets in the receiving core, but it comes back to the offensive line. Establish the run, sets up the pass, give him time to pass.
Well, he's got 7 years after the extension. Yeah. Greg Huntington, our guest. Of course, he is one of the 10 original Jaguars. We love to call him the Mangler, and he goes into the night here with Rick Ballou. All right, your opinion on the 5-year extension. It's now 7 years for Trevor Lawrence, so he's no longer has to answer questions from the media. Are you going to get paid? What are you worth? I mean, everything's set now. It's just about him going out and playing football.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 years left on his rookie deal. You could have ridden that out. But if you ride something like that out, what is the message that it's sending to him is that you may not be the guy, right? I think everybody looks at his career here. You go, okay, he gets a pass for Hurricane Meyer in that disaster. The second year, he did well. He was, showing his ability. Third year, like we discussed, he didn't have a great offensive line. He was injured, okay? So I think the message is we're going to lock you up with 5 to 7. And it sends a message, you're our guy. You've shown us enough, and we believe that if we put the right team around you, you're our guy. So it's confidence for him. I don't understand all the details of the money, what money counts when, what counts against the cap. But it didn't seem like an outlandish deal. It seemed like a very reasonable deal to lock up our quarterback for 7 years.
The game has changed a great deal since you played, but now as an ambassador of the Jaguars and a guy who is a huge fan, what does that say to the rest of the team when you get this quarterback done before you have to get it done?
Yeah, I think it shows the current players that, hey, if you show the team your value and that they believe in you, then your time's going to come, and it may come earlier than what your existing contract says. Again, he had 2 years left, and they went ahead and got the deal done before it.
You talked a little bit earlier about getting drafted in D.C. By their former name, Joe Theismann.
Yeah, that's right. It was Theismann.
Became Joe Theismann because he wanted to rhyme with winning the Heisman, which he did not win, coming out of Notre Dame. I did not see this one coming. It's now John Hines Allen, and whether it's the way that Theismann did it, to try to be a ploy for winning an award, the very famous Cassius Clay becoming Muhammad Ali and Lou Alcindor becoming Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, either political or spiritual, even a religious way of changing. Not here. This is out of respect for his family, primarily the women in his family. What were your thoughts when Josh Allen changed his name?
I've done a podcast with Josh Allen, or should we say Josh Hines Allen at this point in time. A tremendous individual. And it's my understanding that he did it to honor his maternal family and ancestry, which I think is great. The good consequence, if it's not a consequence, but the good benefit that comes from it, it does separate him from Josh Allen, the quarterback.
Yes, it
Buffalo,
does.
right? I mean, if you ask anybody that watches football in America outside of Jacksonville, if you said Josh Allen, what are they going to think?
No doubt.
They're going to think of the quarterback for the Bills, right? So I appreciate the fact that he was doing it for, his ancestral line, his maternal. I think that's great. But at the same time, his body and his play on the football field, that's his brand. And I think it's wise that he can somehow separate himself from Josh Allen, the quarterback, to Josh Hines Allen, the defensive end rusher who set the sack record for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Because there's life after football. So I think it's smart on both of those fronts for him.
That's well said. All right, he's Greg Huntington. Let's come back. Let's talk about the stadium. Let's talk about the fact that, these national members, they can write that the Jags are going to London or they're going to lose their franchise. It's over. The local media here's told you forever they were never going to leave. Shad Khan honored it. The mayor, Donna Deegan, and President Mark Lamping, everyone got the deal done. So let's get Greg Huntington's thoughts on that. We'll also get a little bit from him on his alma mater. What is going on with Penn State as we move even closer to the beginning of the college football season?
1010XL. Home of the Florida Gators.
Hey folks, it's Jennifer Marion. Randy Marion Cadillac is the pinnacle of luxury in the First Coast area.
And guess what? We've got the all-new Cadillac Lyriq with $16,000 off MSRP.
That's right. You pick the color and drive away today in ultimate style.
Experience the future of driving with the Cadillac Lyriq. Electric, elegant, and exhilarating.
Visit us online at randymarioncadillacofjacksonville.com or come see us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Don't miss out on this unbeatable deal. Plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's in full swing, and air conditioners are fully stressed. But do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable all season long. Need a new AC system? Fenwick has free same-day estimates and next-day installations. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. Fenwick also offers same-day, 24/7 service, day or night, and their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
July 11, 1914, future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Babe Ruth makes his MLB debut as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. Earns a 4-3 win against Cleveland.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and it is hot out there. You know that, Greg. But Honda has a plan for you on or off the road.
They do. There's a ton of Honda scooters, Honda mini motos, great for the beach. Also get you out in the woods with a Honda side-by-side. Plenty to do and stay cool.
Yeah, four-wheelers, and you can trick them out.
We can. From stereo systems to big builds, we do it all.
Everything's there for you to see. CyclesofJacksonville.com online or on Atlantic near Regency. Check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. we can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go! Help cheer your Sharks on to victory as they battle the Green Bay Blizzards in exciting IFL football action this Saturday, July 13th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now, check out our new family pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. It's a great deal. To purchase yours or to get more information, call 904-621-0700. And ho, ho, ho! Who's ready for Christmas in July?
A little Christmas music, maestro?
Whether you're on the naughty or nice list, come out and support your Sharks. You never know, you might get a chance to say hi to Santa.
It's almost Christmas.
All we want for Christmas is a Sharks win. Check out our post-game autograph session and see if the players and dancers are asking for the same present as you.
Let's go!
Don't miss the fun and excitement of Sharks football this Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Let's go!
Let's go!
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8 o'clock. That's the deal each and every weeknight, 6 to 8. The Mangler is with us, one of the 10 original Jacksonville Jaguars. He is Greg Huntington. What's going on right now at Waste Management before we get into the stadium? What's the latest?
Well, Waste Management, I'm glad you said it that way because we've been working on rebranding to become WM. Why? Because we don't want to be known for just waste removal. We are the largest sustainability company in North America, which means recycle, repurpose, reuse. And so we're trying to get people to realize that we're not just into moving waste around, but we're also very dedicated to the recycling market.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
absolutely. I know that you love it there. You rave about it whenever we get an opportunity to talk, and looking forward to having you guys back on here with us. All right, the stadium, created a lot of panic, I think, for maybe fans out there who looked at things glass half empty as opposed to glass half full. It's been about a month now since it's become official, but just your thoughts knowing that the Jaguars are going nowhere.
Yeah, first let's back up. In all that talk about Jacksonville moving the team to London or somewhere else, that was never even in the realm of possibility. And it just bugs the crap out of me because you get, the whole we're a small market and you get people bloviating about our situation in Jacksonville and they really don't know.
Right.
So the stadium deal, I actually participated in a very small way because they did public awareness campaigns, and I went to the one at Sandalwood. And
okay.
Mark Lamping did a great job. Mayor Donna Deegan, she did a phenomenal job. I don't necessarily lean Democratic, not to be political, but every time I've seen her in that forum, she does a great job of explaining the deal. I was happy to see him get it done, right? Yeah. It's another 30 years. It was my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're the truth teller, but, obviously the city owns the stadium, which isn't always the case.
Yeah.
And so is my understanding Lee came to Shad and said, hey, you need to either, new stadium or refurbish the existing one or move the team. So he could have gone to the city and say, hey, this is what I'm being told by the league. Your stadium, you fix it. Build a new one or refurbish it yourself. But that's not what he did. He basically met them 50-50. And which I think was very honorable on his part.
Yeah.
I think it was a great deal. I think there was $150 million set aside for community projects. When I did that public awareness campaign, my council district councilman Will Lanin was there, as well as Kevin Carrico, who's now the vice president of the council. And I think it was 14 yeses, 1 no, and 4 abstentions. So, and I talked to the councilman before I came on air because I told him I was coming on, and he said, let the public know that we held public forums, public meetings, 3 of them where the public could come in, ask us questions, and watch us debate the issue. So it just didn't show up on their desk at a council meeting and they just went ahead and voted for it.
Yeah.
It was discussed. They did their due diligence, and I think they really came up with a fair deal. Is any deal going to be perfect for both sides? No, but it's a give and take. And
and it ended up working out because that $150 million made it officially 55-45, but Shad Khan has to take that to the owners for their vote coming up in October to say that it's a small market franchise, but they're paying 55% of it. You know, those rich owners don't want to hear that the owner of the Jaguars is ponying up more than the taxpayers. That's the way the NFL works.
Yeah, and any event outside of football that happens at the stadium, the city and Shad share 50-50. Yeah. But it has to go back into the stadium,
right?
Which, again, I just think it's admirable what Shad Khan did. So,
and that's a cool part of it if they can build downtown.
Yeah. And then it's my understanding that the contractor that was hired to do the renovation, was going to have 2 years where the team would be away, but have now committed to only being a year. And forgive me, you can tell me, educate me. Is it Orlando now? Is that been designated as the site, or we don't know yet?
It's going to be Orlando or Gainesville.
Okay.
It's going to be one of the two. Hey, we got a few minutes left. Michigan just won a national title. Ohio State, still a huge part of the Big Ten. And now we have these teams rolling in from the West Coast. Penn State brings back Drew Aller. You've got arguably one of the better running back combinations in America with Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen. Your thoughts on Penn State?
Yeah, I would agree with you. The quarterback, he's going to do his second year of starting. He actually played games as a true freshman. Last year was his first year starting. He did a good job. He did struggle in the big games against Michigan and Ohio State. And to your point, Singleton and Allen are a really good running back combination. We did lose our left tackle. I believe he was a first-round draft choice in the draft. But look, from my perspective, Penn State's 10-2, 9-3 every year. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. The divisions maybe have been jumbled up, but we were always losing to Michigan and Ohio State every year and maybe another team, and we're playing in the Outback Steakhouse Bowl. So now that they're expanding the playoffs, I think maybe we have an opportunity to potentially play for a title at some point in time. I mean, but Penn State hasn't played for a title since 1986. They should have played for one in 94.
I agree.
Great team.
3 undefeated teams that year.
Penn State is what it is right now under James Franklin. And so I don't have a lot of hope that we're going to be any better than 10-2 and 9-3.
Tough road schedule, man. You open up in Morgantown against West Virginia. You go out to L.A. to play USC. You go to Madison, Wisconsin. You go to Purdue, and then you go to play Minnesota late in the season. So those are 5 formidable road games for Penn State.
Maybe 8-4. Maybe 8-4. I don't know.
Some home dates. Yeah, it's just weird to see UCLA and USC now in the Big Ten, but college football is consistently changing. All right, what do you got planned now? We got a little bit of downtime. I know I'll see you out at Jaguars training camp, which begins in less than a couple of weeks. But what's the man we're doing here now?
Yeah, well, we just celebrated the 4th. I went to my mom's lake house there in Alabama. That's always a great time. Just recently did a family vacation to the Keys. So, I'm back at work. Good thing is I'm in a slow period with work. I was really busy for 3 years in my role. And my boss was like, look, you were busy for 3 years. You're a little slow. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I really have been. Now, it helps me to focus on the aspect of my job that's relationship building, which I can do more of that, which, proves to have results in the future. But like I started, I mean, Rick, life is good. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, we got to get you back out on the golf course. It's been a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
I mean, it's 95 right now. Go out there and just sweat. Yeah.
Lose some weight.
Yeah. There's not a lot of those charity celebrity golf tournaments in Jacksonville in the month of June, July, or August, are there?
No.
But those are always a blast. Hey, it's always good to see you, Greg Huntington.
Yeah, what a pleasure.
He is the Mangler, and we appreciate his input as always. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. I got a couple of things I want to throw out to you in hour number 2, including a report that smells like it's bogus, okay? Is there anything there with the Big 12? Florida State, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame? Or is this just fodder? Because it's really building up all over the place. I have my opinion on that. I'm absolutely going to share that with you. Have a couple of other NFL news and notes I want to get into, and we do have some comments on the Jaguars, something I'm going to introduce as well in our second hour. The best way for you to join us is on the text line. That is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
The fire which burns inside them. It's essential to understand that battles are won primarily in the hearts of men. And once you have won their hearts, they'll follow you anywhere.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
It's time to fire up your grills, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast orthopedic specialists.
Pick it here for Bowden Eye & Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bowden Eye. Visit Bowden Eye & Associates today and experience the difference. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, getting a lot on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. A lot of good stuff rolling in. Thank you to Greg Huntington, the Mangler, for joining us here in studio. JJ, we got some really sad news that just rolled in.
We do, and we just talked about him last night in the context of his son, of course. But sad news, Monty Kiffin, 84, just passed away in Oxford, Mississippi.
What a defensive mind Monty Kiffin was. He was absolutely sensational, particularly in Tampa Bay with Tony Dungy. I had an opportunity to get to know him during the 2016 season where he was, a defensive assistant, I guess would be the way to describe him. He was more of in an advisory role. But what a salt, man. Salt to the earth. Just the guy, and it was such a difficult time during the Gus Bradley regime and everything that was happening. And you could tell it was towards the end of the coaching career for Monty Kiffin, but he just came across as more gentle than I guess I remember him being in all those years in Tampa Bay. He went off to USC for a couple of years to become an assistant head coach. But you just look at his resume. He was drafted out of Nebraska in the 15th round, pick number 202 back in 1964. Played for the Vikings, played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, played for the Toronto Rifles, played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1966.
Baseball?
I'm guessing it's football. But look at the places he went. As a graduate assistant, he went back to the alma mater. He went to Nebraska, then became the defensive coordinator at Nebraska from 1969 to 1976. Okay, so that's got to be back during the Bob Devaney years. We're talking pre-Tom Osborne at Nebraska. He then went to Arkansas for a couple of years in 77, 78. So I'm guessing that's back in the old, Southwest Conference, right? Even pre-Big 12. I'm guessing here. If I'm wrong, I know our listeners will let me know. In 79, Arkansas is the assistant head coach. Became a head coach in Raleigh, North Carolina. From 1980 to 1982, did Monty Kiffin. And then I don't know if he was fired or if he just moved on. He went to the National Football League. In 1983, a linebackers coach in Green Bay. In 84 and 85, a linebackers coach in Buffalo. 86 through 89, the linebackers coach in Minnesota. The New York Jets as a linebackers coach in 1990. Went back to Minnesota in 1991 as the defensive coordinator. I don't know what happened, but he then became the linebackers coach in Minnesota, 92 through 94. I don't know if it was a demotion or what happened. I honestly don't remember. We're going back decades, obviously. In 95, a D coordinator in New Orleans. And then he had his biggest success. Tampa Bay, defensive coordinator, 1996 through 2008. 2009, defensive coordinator at Tennessee. I wonder if that was under Lane, where he was the defensive coordinator. And then again, we talked about SC 2010 through 2012. Came back in the NFL as a defensive coordinator for Dallas in 2013. Assistant head coach for Dallas in 2014. Then the defensive assistant here after a season off. The 2015 year off, Monty Kiffin came to Jacksonville, more of a defensive advisory role. In 2016, went to Florida Atlantic, where I'm guessing Lane was, 2017 through 2019, and had been at Mississippi as a player personnel analyst 2020 through 2023. That whole Tampa 2 scheme, I mean, that was choreographed by Monty Kiffin. Sad day. I mean, this is really going to affect a lot of people throughout the National Football League. Very small fraternity. And didn't know him well, but I enjoyed some conversations with him. Rest in peace. He won a Super Bowl, obviously in Tampa. He's in their Ring of Honor. And he also won 2 national championships at Nebraska with Bob Devaney back in 1970 and 1971. So there you have it. Sad story there.
And obviously his legacy will live on through his son.
There's no doubt. Boy, the maturation process of Lane, who gets a little bit crazy on Twitter, I think we all love it. But, I'll say it right now. I think Lane Kiffin, for my money, I love this guy. I do. And, he blew it with Oakland. He blew it with Tennessee. He blew it with USC. He rejuvenated his career by spending 3 seasons with Nick Saban as the offensive coordinator at Alabama. Then, kind of paid his penance at Florida Atlantic, made them a winner. And he's winning at Mississippi, which is it always was in the most difficult division in the SEC. Not always. There were times where the East was stronger. But during his tenure in college football in Oxford, the West has been, the better division than the East. And a lot of people believe, that Mississippi is really going to be able to, to do some things this year. He was 5-15 with the Raiders, 7-6 at Tennessee, 28-15 at USC, 26-13 at Florida Atlantic, and 34-15 since he has gone to Mississippi, including last year. JJ, he was 11-2 last year at Mississippi.
And that's probably why all the hype's coming this year. Yeah. They also are able to dodge Bama on the schedule this year. Obviously, no East or West, so this is the first time they won't have to play Bama, and I don't even know, probably forever. So the first 6 games, I expect them to be 6-0. So it's Furman, Middle Tennessee, Wake, Georgia Southern as all their non-conference opponents, and they get them out of the way at the first 4 weeks. But then their first 2 conference games are as winnable as you can get in this conference, at home against Kentucky and away to South Carolina. So if you start 6-0, all this offseason hype, I mean, they're going to be in the top 5 at this point. And then opens up like the real play of the season, October 12th at LSU, a bye week, and then Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So like those 2 are going to be huge in whether they go to the the playoffs or not. They do play Georgia later on in the season. I expect that to be a loss, but with the 12 teams, Ole Miss with 2 losses is a lock for the playoffs.
They get Arkansas on the road, which is probably the weakest team in the SEC. Sam Pittman clearly on the hot seat.
Besides
right.
Vandy, yes.
Yeah, but LSU, Oklahoma, and for what it's worth, year 1 for Oklahoma, they're really considered down this year. I've seen most of the SEC rankings where they're somewhere between like 8 and 9, but it's Oklahoma. It's a blue blood. And you get them the week after, actually get a bye after their trip to Baton Rouge. And then after the Arkansas game, you have Georgia, another bye week before going to Florida. And then, of course, you wrap up the year with the Egg Bowl and Mississippi State. Shelley Duvall
is going to be fun. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. No, I was going to say, Shelley Duvall passed away today as well.
I only knew her from The Shining. That was it.
Of course, I just spent one day during my vacation out at Estes Park in Colorado, where the Shining Hotel, I guess fictionally speaking, was there. That's where Stephen King wrote The Shining. But, of course, the big battle that he had, who was the director again? How come I can't think of...
Kubrick.
Stanley. Thank you, Stanley Kubrick. I didn't know there was such angst. I mean, just flat out hatred between those two. But Shelley Duvall in that movie is Jack Nicholson was so celebrated for his role. Shelley Duvall, they couldn't have picked.
Oh, dude, it was the best.
They couldn't have picked a better actress for that role.
Awesome at being scared. You're
petrified.
Scared with her, and like her facial expressions and everything. Like when he's, obviously the most famous scene when he's knocking the door down with the axe. She's phenomenal in that scene. Like grasping the knife, can barely hold it, can barely get out the window. Like, yeah, you are. She makes you scared. I think she's phenomenal in that movie.
That my favorite part of the movie with her is when she's walking into that massive hallway and she grabs, the pages of his script.
He's been writing the same.
and it was like all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah.
And the way that she looks at that and flips the pages,
keeps flipping,
and sees it's the same sentence after sentence, page after page after page. Her facial expression is absolutely sensational.
Like she's seen a ghost.
I read some stuff on this that Nicholson was like so into character that apparently he like verbally and emotionally abused her during the making of The Shining. And it wasn't because he didn't respect her or whatever, but it was because Jack was in character the entire time. I don't know how true that is.
I would love for that to be true. Method actors are like, got to be the most annoying people on set ever.
Method actors.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, while we're on it, soon to come to us, as far as I believe it is let me find it right here. It's a 10-part series. Okay? It's called American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, no. 10 parts?
A 10-part series.
I see. There's the 4-parter that was advertised today about Pete Rose.
Oh, I'm fired up
and
to see that.
got me excited, but this is getting me really excited.
This is going to be on FX.
Okay.
All right. It's scheduled to debut on September 17th.
Right during football season.
But it's a 10-part series. I don't know any of the actors on here, but
it's like a dramatization.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. But the part of this that I absolutely loved is they have characters here for Shania Jenkins, who, of course, was Aaron Hernandez's fiance, Tanya Singleton, DJ Hernandez, who is the brother, Terry Hernandez, who I'm guessing is the mother. They have a character here for Urban Meyer.
Can't wait for that.
The character for Tim Tebow. All I did was see the name, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Patrick Schwarzenegger is playing the role of Tim Tebow.
It's got to be the son. Yeah, he's the son of Arnold.
It's got to be, right? So you know he's a musclehead.
Dude, he looks just like Tim Tebow. Please Google him right now.
Yeah.
His face looks just like Tebow. And he's obviously jacked, like Pops.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this will be 10 p.m., like you said, September 17th. But then the next day, episodes will be available to stream on Hulu. So even if you don't have cable like me, you can still watch it online.
So if they're bringing in Tebow and everything, I got to believe that they're going to go deep into the days when he was on campus in Gainesville, and then obviously his playing career in New England. Because once you get to the crime, you don't need to be a gumshoe detective to figure out what Aaron Hernandez did. It was probably the most absurd, stupidest murder in the history of mankind. He left clue after clue after clue, flat out forensic clues, not to mention surveillance, showing him coming in with the gun, his own surveillance in his home.
At his house that he didn't get rid of.
So I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on, we got a tough one here. We think it may be Hernandez. I mean, that episode's going to last about 10 minutes. So the rest of it, I think, has to be the behind the scenes.
Yeah, his playing time, how much of a crazy person he was. Like all of his teammates have these insane stories about how weird he was.
And a lot's been coming out lately on some of these podcasts.
Yeah.
But you know how if you put on CNN, you're going to get a totally different story from Fox, okay? Same issue, but it's told totally different ways. The 2 books I read on Aaron Hernandez, one was by Jose Baez, who is most notably known for defending Casey Anthony. His book went on, to basically describe Hernandez not in a perfect light, but incredibly defensive. A lot of people think he hung himself because the word came out that he was gay. That is totally denied by Jose Baez in his book. But then if you turn around and read James Patterson's account on Aaron Hernandez, and I think his book was called American Nightmare. Bro, it's 2 books. If you read them back to back, I got them in my library. You read them back to back, you are reading 2 totally different stories on what happened with Aaron Hernandez. So I'm fascinated to see what this FX piece is going to be like.
Yeah, Patterson's is called All-American Murder, The Rise and Fall of Aaron Hernandez, the superstar whose life ended on Murderer's Row. I didn't realize he wrote a book about like an actual...
Yeah, he usually writes
fiction. Yeah.
It was a good book. They were both really good, but it's...
Hard to tell what the truth was.
Yeah, but if you just walked up to 2 people, if you're a teacher... and you said, hey, read this Aaron Hernandez book and write a report on it, and you handed him the Patterson one, then you heard him the Baez one, you're getting 2 totally different reports.
Now, think about how history it works. You know, like, that's just a story from, I don't even know, like 10, 15 years ago, and you don't know the truth. Like, yeah, that's how history is. It's crazy, man. Like, you basically don't know. There's plenty of books saying opposite things about different historical periods, and you just don't know what to believe. This will be really fun. I don't know if I need 10 episodes, but I think I'm going to enjoy this.
You know what? The most is probably on JFK.
Oh, my God.
And when it comes to what...
That's a perfect one to bring up.
Right, but the same category is Hernandez. Do you know that Jack the Ripper committed 4 murders, but there's like 10,000 books written on Jack the Ripper?
Lot.
Yeah. But I mean, book-wise, if you think Manson's like number 1 or Bundy, no. The Jack the Ripper, now, granted,
and
Jack the Ripper
Jack
the Ripper happened 100 years, prior to that. Yeah, they never caught him. They never caught Jack the Ripper. So, anyway, fascinating stuff. All right, I do want to get to this Big 12 stuff. Is there anything there, or is it just a whole bunch of hogwash here on the 11th day of July? Let's come back, spend a couple of minutes on it. If you want to add to the program, we always enjoy getting comments from you. 641-1010. That is the text line, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
This is 1010XL.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Home of the Jaguars.
Ballou here for Skenes Vision. Why Skenes Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Skenes now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Skenes Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Skenes is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SkenesVision.com today. Here you can see.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? StoneCore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit StoneCore today and let's beautify your home together. StoneCore.co. We do outdoors better.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect beer for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Thermal Engineers is hiring. Thermal Engineers is a commercial HVAC contractor serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, and full benefits sound? And a signing bonus. Is it time for a positive change in your career? Join the family-oriented commercial HVAC contractor at Thermal Engineers. Call 230-1172 or go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer.
College football is finally here.
Yes!
SEC Football Media Days. Catch interviews with coaches and players.
We need change. I think everybody knows that.
If you miss one, you can hear it on demand at 1010XL.com. Brought to you by Instant Keys.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Daily
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Let's go! Help cheer your Sharks on to victory as they battle the Green Bay Blizzards in exciting IFL football action this Saturday, July 13th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now, check out our new family pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. It's a great deal. To purchase yours or to get more information, call 904-621-0700. And ho, ho, ho! Who's ready for Christmas in July?
A little Christmas music, maestro?
Whether you're on the naughty or nice list, come out and support your Sharks. You never know, you might get a chance to say hi to Santa.
It's almost Christmas.
All we want for Christmas is a Sharks win. Check out our post-game autograph session and see if the players and dancers are asking for the same present as you.
Let's go!
Don't miss the fun and excitement of Sharks football this Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Let's go!
Let's go! Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. Men, are you struggling in the bedroom? Do spiders and roaches have you scared? Visit RoyalPestServices.com and let us help you get that man card back. Guaranteed results on our first visit.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the Big 12 meetings have been going on. Of course, next week, the SEC and Dallas. Frank, Matt Hayes, Mia O'Brien will be there. The week after is the Atlantic Coast Conference meetings. We won't be going this year, which I have no problem with. I mean, why would you make it a 4-day event? Okay. I mean, it's the ACC. And you've set up way too many tables, and not enough people are going to attend. I mean, the hotels want you out there all week, right? I mean, I'd like to show up to listen to the commissioner, who I think's a fool. I've always thought that Jim Phillips is a colossal failure. And obviously listen to the Florida State stuff. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to have Florida State's Joshua Farmer on tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to that if that's the case. I think he's going to have a huge year for the Garnet and Gold. But we're at the, it's here. College football is getting set to get underway. And, depending on who you talk to right now, it almost feels like there's some guesswork involved, because I think there's a lot of people who are uninformed at this particular time, particularly when it comes to Florida State, because right now they're suing the Atlantic Coast Conference, and the Atlantic Coast Conference is countersuing Florida State. So you usually, when you're in a legal battle, if you're involved in anything that's happening, you don't leak information, okay? Certainly not with something that could end up costing Florida State, what is it, $600, $700 million if they were to break the grant of rights, which goes through 2036. Now, it feels like it's the Big Ten to me. Others will say, well, they don't have the AAU. They're not qualified academically. We'll see. The SEC, it kind of feels like one of those deals where the SEC doesn't need Florida State, but they don't want anyone else to get them. Chuck Oliver joined us earlier in the week. His opinion is this thing's going to drag out longer than perhaps many of us believe. He actually made it seem like the ACC could actually maybe still be in play here, certainly if they do change the revenue streams and Florida State, Clemson, and Miami start to get more than these other schools. So all of a sudden enter the Big 12. And, this really came out of nowhere in the last 24 hours. I think it was Ross Dellinger, who's now at Yahoo. He's a seasoned reporter. He's been doing this for a very long period of time. And he is someone that I trust, unlike so many others on Twitter who, have this. Like, for instance, where did I see this one report? I don't even know who this guy's name is. But he wrote that Brett Yormark, who's the commissioner of the Big 12, has secured private equity, which we've had conversations about. That could be where college football is headed next, and that the Big 12 is getting ready to offer Florida State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Miami to all go to the Big 12. So I think, and to credit Ross Dellinger, his words were and I quote him, quote, "There is at least early conversations between the Big 12 and those schools about the possibility." Okay? Nothing concrete, nothing of too much significance, just conversations. So let's throw this out there, JJ. Okay? Whether it's 2 years or, like Chuck Oliver said, 5 years, where's Florida State in 5 years? ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12?
Big 10.
I tend to agree with you.
I think the Big 12 stuff I don't know where it came from. It's fun to talk about right now, but I think it's just some random college football, hey, we just had media days. We were talking about it at media days type story. Nothing with like serious legs to it. I think this AAU non-accredited stuff, I'm not too worried about that if I'm an FSU fan. I think the Big Ten will get over that and put y'all in eventually.
Miami.
Same. I don't think they'll split up. I think wherever Florida State goes, I think Clemson and Miami will probably end up in the same spot. Okay. Maybe not like right away. Maybe not the first year, but I think they'll fall. Sort of like how Miami and Virginia Tech went to the ACC, and then a little later on, the other schools started to trickle in, the Boston College, the Pitts, the Syracuse. It took a little while for everybody to get in. I think that's how it'll work.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to go to the Big 12, financially speaking. I mean, you might as well stay in the Atlantic Coast Conference, where they've already broken the bread and the communication is out.
And you won't have to pay this insane exit fee.
Right. Well, again, for the teams who leave do believe that they're not going to have to pay the exit amount. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is their belief. As a matter of fact, Florida State actually got a pretty big win on a court ruling that officially came out. I think it was either yesterday or it was earlier today. Remember how the contracts with the Atlantic Coast Conference, and when they redid the deal a second time with ESPN, the only way that you are able to read those contracts are for the lawyers to fly to North Carolina. You can't have a cell phone. You can't have a piece of paper. You can't write stuff down.
You can't take notes.
No, you can't do anything. Well, that's been overturned now. And the Atlantic Coast Conference has 7 days to give Florida State all of the copies of its ESPN contracts, all the related documents. It's a protective order, and the Tampa Bay Times actually became aware of this and broke it down in an article a little bit earlier today. After they reach their, I guess after they get the information that they're looking for from the Atlantic Coast Conference, Florida State, I love the way that this is written, Florida State must either destroy the documents or return them to the Atlantic Coast Conference. So,
are they allowed to take a picture or take notes this time, or they just have to look at it once?
Yeah. This is a minor win for FSU. At least now they know what they're dealing with.
They're starting to stack up wins in the courts, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the last one was that it would be heard outside of North Carolina, and so they're 2 for 2 in the last couple weeks.
Judge John C. Cooper said that they prohibit Florida State from sharing or disclosing details of any of these documents. The documents that are shared are the 2010 Multiple Rights Agreement, the 2012 Amendment and Extension, a Second Amendment from 2014, a 2016 restated and amended deal, the Atlantic Coast Conference Network contract from 2016, and an August 2021 letter amendment to the current 2016 deal. Let me say this for all the lawyers out there. I'm fascinated by, trials and did he do it? Did he not do it? This form of lawyering to me would drive me crazy. It just would. I'm not trying to belittle it, but fighting over contracts and documents, and listen, there's great lawyers. Okay, our friends Jimerson and Burr absolutely do an awful lot of that. But the whole, what am I going to do in my life? I never really considered being a lawyer. I wanted to be more into forensics. I would have loved to have done that, but obviously a lot of folks, criminology, went on to lawyer school and or law school at Florida State or other places. Boy, this part of it to me, though, I just this
is probably where they make the money, though.
Oh yeah,
like they're billing by the hour. Most of it is just doing the paperwork stuff. So yes, it seems very inane and like time consuming. But when you're charging by the hour, I bet they're loving how much time it takes.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, Bill Belichick, busy man. I love it with Bill. And listen, he's now going to do Inside the NFL, which is falling off the map.
It's on the CW.
Yeah, I mean, remember growing up, this was like the show. It was on HBO and
Showtime, and
I remember it was like Len Dawson and Nick Bonacani and Jerry Glanville, and they brought in so many others. But back before there was computers and the internet and everything that was going on, this was like can't miss weekly. I'll put it on the same landscape of the old days of This Week in Baseball. You old enough to remember that?
Oh yeah, that was
Mel
a
Allen?
huge show. I just remember the bloopers and the hilarious music, or the hilarious bloopers and the great music and the great guy's voice. And I loved This Week in Baseball.
Narrated by Mel Allen. Who was the not John Facenda? He was NFL Films. Who was the great? It was Harry Callis, the former Philadelphia broadcaster. I know he did Phillies. I'm not sure if he did the Eagles.
He had that voice like this.
Oh, it was the best. But, they'd break it down. Then all of a sudden they go to the highlight package. It would always be like, they'd show like cheerleaders first or like rain, like coming down the steps. And Harry Callis, like, it was a wonderful day in Denver's Mile High State. And it was just, it gave you goosebumps. It was put together so well. But that's where Belichick is now. Here's my guess on Belichick. He's going to absolutely crush it.
Yeah.
Okay, the stubbornness, he's going to show a personality. he is going to make fan after fan after fan, because here's the deal for Bill Belichick. He's going to pick a team in a year that has a quarterback. I'm not going to go to Atlanta where they don't know what's going on. I know they got Kirk Cousins and went out and drafted a guy, but that's still a team at the bottom of the barrel. Every year we have a minimum of 6 coaches. Hey, I'll put it right out there right now. What if Press Taylor calls plays? What if Jacksonville starts 1-3? What if the Jaguars get blown out and Shad Khan says, that's it? Well, I'll give you your 2 leading candidates right now for the Jaguars head coaching position in 2025. Bill Belichick or Detroit offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. There you go. There you go. Ben Johnson shut down jobs last year because he didn't get one where he believed he had a quarterback. One of my favorite interviews of all time is with Red Auerbach. The late Red Auerbach was talking about Phil Jackson, and he said Phil picked his jobs. Phil picked his jobs in Chicago. He picked his job in LA. He always went to where there was great talent. And, people can go back and forth. Was he a great coach? Did he have great players? I think it's both. I think Phil Jackson is one of the most wonderful coaches we've ever seen. But forever it was like, will he go back to New York? We really want to see how good Phil Jackson is. He'll try to win an NBA championship with the New York Knicks. He never did. I'm telling you right now, JJ, and I'm not on a limb here, but Bill Belichick is going to get a job in 2025 who has a franchise QB.
Which would be, it would end up working out. I think it still would have been good for him in Atlanta because I do like Kirk Cousins. I think that division is really soft. I think he could have gone right in there and won right away. They have a lot of pieces around him offensively. So I was disappointed. Remember, I bet my life earlier that last offseason that he would get a head coaching job. He didn't. I was shocked by that. But, yeah, he's definitely coming back. There's no reason you would jump into the media and do 9 different shows if you weren't planning on coming back. You want to keep your name out there. You want to, show that you still have your fastball, that you're not some old washed-up guy that people think you are. Who's lost his touch. Who do you think will be better this season on TV out of Saban and Bill?
Boy, that's tough. They're both outstanding.
Mm-hmm. I think they'll both be great.
Tim Brando told me years ago he thinks Nick Saban is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think it's more natural for Saban. I think he'll fall in, and he's just got the personality and the knowledge. I think there's going to be a tiny bit of, is Belichick forcing this because he's trying to come across as hey, the pressure's off. Look at me. I'm a smiling, happy guy. I have 6 Lombardi trophies. To answer that question, I think it's almost going to be like an A-, but I'm going to say Saban.
I was going to say the opposite. I think it'll be Belly. I think Saban, there's probably going to be less to be able to say. I think Bill's going to be real in there with X's and O's. Yeah. Bill's going to try to show you that he's way smarter than everybody else in the TV game. I think Saban's going to be more laid back and storytelling type guy. Both good in their, the way they're doing things, but I think they'll be completely different. And then we have another one. We have Brady in the booth. He's 3 huge names coming to the college football / NFL media landscape this year.
No doubt about it. I mentioned Jacksonville. I think the New York Jets. And again, you got to wonder about the quarterback. Rodgers is 41. Does Belichick want to go with, let's say they draft a rookie? Or does he want to come in with Rodgers at 42? If it doesn't work.
Wow, to the AFC East. How to play the Pats twice a year. He would love that.
But what makes the most sense is the NFC East, okay? Nick Sirianni just appears to be a total jackass, right? and Jeffrey Lurie fired Doug Peterson after winning a Super Bowl. I could see that thing imploding, and you have a QB. Dallas?
Oh, we know that Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat.
Every year Mike McCarthy is on. The New York Giants with Brian Daboll is interesting because that's clearly an organization that doesn't have a quarterback in place. Mm-hmm. But I do think, 6-11 a year ago for Brian Daboll in New York, I just think you look at the NFC Eastern Division, and I can absolutely see Bill Belichick with one of those teams in 2025.
Yeah, because those are like the celebrity teams too. You know, those are the teams that get all the media attention. Like, you think the Cowboys get a lot of talk on ESPN right now? Wait till they hire Bill Belichick. Like, that's all you're going to hear about.
Till 9 o'clock tonight, the Blue Crab House remains open. $3 drafts on Thursday night, $4 wines, $5 wells. Remember, on Sunday, $2.50 Bloody Marys. And, of course, mimosas. They're open noon to 9 on Sunday, 4:30 to 9 each and every other day outside of Monday, which, of course, they do rest. The best crabs in town, no place to go outside of the one, the only, the Blue Crab House. It's right off of San Jose, located on Jillington Creek Road.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Ballou for Shenatry Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shenatry Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShenatrydC.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
What's up? I'm Patrick Young. If you're a business owner, make your plans to attend the Florida SBDC Network Small Business Success Summit, August 19th and 20th at the Sawgrass Marriott in Ponte Vedra. You'll network with other Florida business owners, learn marketing and operational strategies. Plus, I'll deliver an inspirational keynote message. There's also a reverse trade show event where you can speak with government agencies to explore their business partnerships. Register online at floridasbdc.org, and I will see you there.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Let's go! Help cheer your Sharks on to victory as they battle the Green Bay Blizzards in exciting IFL football action this Saturday, July 13th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now, check out our new family pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. It's a great deal. To purchase yours or to get more information, call 904-621-0700. And ho, ho, ho! Who's ready for Christmas in July?
A little Christmas music, maestro?
Whether you're on the naughty or nice list, come out and support your Sharks. You never know, you might get a chance to say hi to Santa.
It's almost Christmas.
All we want for Christmas is a Sharks win. Check out our post-game autograph session and see if the players and dancers are asking for the same present as you.
Let's go!
Don't miss the fun and excitement of Sharks football this Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Let's go!
Let's go! 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, with you tonight till 8 o'clock, Hacker Nation standing by. He will take you through, and then Chuck Oliver, more college football. Coming up, 7370. Apparently have touched a nerve with him. He starts off by saying, hello, Rick, love the show, all that, listen every night. That's appreciated. But please, we know you're a Knoll fan and love the ACC. Now, half that's right. I am a Knoll fan. I don't love the ACC. I basically rip the ACC at any time. But anyway, let's get back to what you're saying here. But please, we know you're a Knoll fan and love the ACC. But please stop saying, quote, the Atlantic Coast Conference every single time you reference them. All of you listeners are football and sports fans, and we know what you are saying. Just say the ACC. We know what you are talking about. You know what, 7370? I'm going to take that as constructive criticism, and I'm going to put it under advisement. How does that sound?
Yeah, but what about the AAC? I mean, it's very easy to trip up and mix those up. We talk about the AAC all the time.
So the next time I say the Atlantic Coast Conference, either you find me in the kangaroo court or we hook up some Pavlov type of experiments here and you beat me. Maybe something will run through the body. I wasn't aware of that. And again, that's why, listen, we listen to you. We listen to, he starts off by saying he listens every night. That's all I can ask for.
That's all we care about.
Yes. So again, it's under advisement.
As long as you listen and go to the Blue Crab Crab House.
Heck yeah.
Shmurna's Vision.
It'll be a real interesting year in the ACC.
There you go. You did it.
Who's your surprise ACC team?
Would it be a surprise if Clemson wins it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I haven't heard anyone give them any hype this year. I don't see anyone surprised. It's got to be one of the three.
Okay.
Right.
Outside of the big three, where is the most difficult place to win a road football game?
I think Louisville.
In the ACC.
I think Louisville is pretty good. their coach is a great offensive mind. They're usually decent. I'll go with them.
Real quick on this before we wrap things up. I am a long-time card collector. I grew up collecting cards. I still, to this day, go back and look at them. Again, if you want to come in and rip me off at my house, I'll tell you that the cards that I have that are worth anything are in a safety deposit box, okay, at the bank. But a rookie card of Patrick Mahomes went for $173,000. Whoa. And this is what bothers me about today's card collecting, the business of today's card collecting. There is no way in hell that a rookie Patrick Mahomes should be worth more than a rookie Terry Bradshaw, than a rookie Roger Staubach, than a rookie Warren Moon, than a rookie John Elway, than a rookie Dan Marino. But it happens, and it happens all over the place. I know that they autograph some of these and that they make them a special edition
jersey or something.
Right, where there's only so many that are made. But this is honestly, JJ, what turned me off the most about it is I'm sure a Paul Skenes rookie card now is going to be off the chart. Okay, that's great. But it shouldn't be worth more than a Bob Gibson rookie. It shouldn't be worth more than a Nolan Ryan rookie. And that's what turned me off most about card collecting today.
Well, generically, you're right, though. Like, this is a very specific Patrick Mahomes rookie card. Not like any Topps Patrick Mahomes rookie is going to be worth more than Terry Bradshaw rookie. But I guess this specific one, they didn't make a lot. I don't know the specifics of it. But, yeah, in general, the newer cards are actually worth a lot less because there's so many, especially the ones made in like the 2000s and the 90s. They are mass-produced. But, yeah, I think that it's just like the new guys, the kids who are buying the cards online, like you say, and like you're upset about all the time, I guess they're just not interested in the old guys we used to be.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I got my hands on a Frank Robinson or a Don Drysdale, or a Harmon Killebrew or an Ernie Banks. I mean, today's kids going back and getting a Ken Griffey Jr. or an A-Rod. Doesn't mean it's no. They'd rather have a Paul Skenes. They'd rather have an Ohtani. It's just and to me that's one of the greatest examples of when we were growing up and the way that today's kids are actually growing up.
Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, hate to close things out here on a sad story, but he deserves recognition, and that is Monte Kiffin, who died today at the age of 84. Known more than, for anything, his incredible defensive mind for decades, including the Tampa 2, which, he brought to fruition under Tony Dungy. They won a Super Bowl, I think it was in 2008. When he actually was able to put that together. He was born in Lexington, Nebraska. He went to school at Nebraska. He won 2 national titles as a player under Bob Devaney in 1970 and 1971. And you look at his coaching resume, it is absolutely phenomenal. In 1966, he began as a graduate assistant at Nebraska. He moved on his first NFL job. He was a head coach at North Carolina State for 3 years, 1980 to 1982. Then he went to the NFL in 83, went to Green Bay, and had success in Green Bay, Buffalo, Minnesota, the New York Jets. Got his first defensive coordinator job in Minnesota in 91. Went to the Saints as a D coordinator in 95. The following year, 1996, for 13 years, he ran the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense as the defensive coordinator. And several Hall of Famers off that defense. Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber, some other really good football players. John Lynch is in the Hall of Fame, right? That's 4. I mean, that's almost rivaling the Steel Curtain Pittsburgh Steelers deal. Pittsburgh Steelers have Mean Joe Green, Jack Lambert, Jack Ham. They have, let's see here, Mel Blount, right? I think that might be it. Andy Russell didn't get in. L.C. Greenwood did not get in. Dwight White did not get in. But, again, just a phenomenal defense. And I got to know him a little bit during his season here as a defensive assistant in 2016. Of course, he is the father of Mississippi head coach Lane Kiffin. So rest in peace to Monty Kiffin. There's a guy who touched a lot of lives, with a lot of sad people across the NFL community tonight. He was in it for decades and decades. So rest in peace there. That's going to do it. Thank you to the Mangler, Greg Huntington. I don't check the text line now that the show is over. You can always get me on Twitter, Ballou1010XL. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou. Hacker will join you right now. I will talk with you on Friday at 6 o'clock right here in your home of the Jaguars.